Let me put this in here. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my phone right now. So we on the other system today. I'm actually in the midst right now. I'm wiping the phone out, doing it, sending it back to the factory settings, and then download my stuff over and send it back because I don't know what's going on with that. SW Knowledge Born. What's the runners out there? Because I've been looking at I haven't even really been paying attention to the news like that or really looking at it, but it's it's like chaos, right? Not like everything was hunky dory before, but at least we had 2 years where the chaos was kind of consistent. We knew what it was about. Israel and Russia is going at it now. What's their beef? Was well, Russia said Jews helped Nazis in the Holocaust. Where did he bring that up? Like what? How? So what? The Russians is trying to retaliate against the Jews? Like what? Like they want to retaliate against the Jews or like I don't understand why they would like. Is that just something to like throw everything off or something? Why would they bring that up? Mr. 120, Freedom Culture. But I haven't been paying too much attention to that whole thing over there the whole time, so I don't really know too much about that. I was watching, seeing that they was raised the interest rates. Yeah, I don't know what Putin is. Putin is kind of going off now. But who knows, man? You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I haven't really done the research into it. I've just heard kind of the propaganda from both sides. So I don't actually know what's going on with that. Like a divine wisdom. It's a good thing. See, I'm surprised. Well, you wasn't watching the last couple of episodes. If you was here the last couple of episodes, you probably wouldn't be watching no more. It wasn't me though. It was SW and Shaka Noodle, big time troublemakers. 793rd. But I was the question, or there's a statement there, but the point of no return of just when all this chaos, uh, when all the chaos begins to overtake the peace. District 120 halftime. Like just in the law of averages, right? If enough things, you got enough of this chaos around, eventually something's going to break through. Just like if you got enough positivity around. But it's like just uh kind of just going outside, you see the chaos just adding up to a point where it's more chaos than control. And we already know to put our helmets on, fasten our seatbelts and return our seats to the upright position. But eventually you got to brace for impact. The temperature rose to 101.7. Calm is wrong. We said we're going back to the Dinkins era. I mean, I, you know, uh, even before the Dinkins era, you know what I'm saying? Uh, just where you started hearing crazy stuff all the time. Yo, Shalad, what's the signs with your old earth? I saw something today, but my phone is fucked up. I'm trying to reboot it right now. But yeah, we going back to those type of eras where it's like every day is something just crazy on the news, man. Like we're literally the people is losing their minds out there. And I'm saying, you know, the point of no return, is that's two prongs. Yeah, I just heard that science. Shalak. Ah man. I didn't want to hear that, man. You know what I'm saying? I just dealt with that cipher too, man. I know. I'm with you on that, man. I understand and understood. But just the science of saying that, you know, there's a point of no return dealing with the greater society that we exist in, right? You know, uh, and then there's a point of no return, for each individual, in each group of people, that form themselves in the way every kind of society. You know what I mean? When people say it's the end, right? Life is not created or destroyed. Left during Ramadan. Yeah, uh, in the end, that's, going out like we want to, is never nothing wrong with that. Beyond reason? Nah, I don't mean beyond reason. I mean beyond, like, just when it's a certain point. See, like I said, justice is a penalty or reward for one deeds and actions, but also inaction. Because there's certain things that the person is supposed to do. If they don't do it, you know what I'm saying, then they serve a penalty. Got Arabi in here, Edward Green. You know what I'm saying? So just in terms of, you know, the society that exists around us. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes we like, we kind of sit back and pat ourselves on the back. You know what I'm saying? That, we did a lot of teaching, right? And we did it, right? But for everything we did, it don't mean that our job is actually complete. You know what I'm saying? This is, it's certain things that we gotta live out. See, like I said, in in my time, you know what I'm saying? Uh, you know, that was the knowledge born at two ciphers. So, the knowledge could be born just through the words. The things that they were saying, people didn't, that wasn't common knowledge then. You know what I'm saying? Right at that time, at least for me, what I'm saying, the people in my age group, that's kind of, all of this is out there. You know what I mean? The term colored, you still got some people around at that time. Black people, I'm saying, that's saying colored. So when you hear this science, the black man is God and all of that, that's it's a totally different impact now. You isn't hearing that on records, et cetera, et cetera. But now in the wisdom had three ciphers. Abdul Rahman, Medina said, she if you have any other kittens along with pain, along with pain there. But in the wisdom had three ciphers, you know, now we gotta take that wisdom from words to action. And we gotta do things, when you deal with those three ciphers, understanding mean to see, and that understanding meaning to see, that's mentally and physically. Like for a person to be able to witness the fruit, you know, with the naked eye, you know, that's when you've lived it out and you've made knowledge born. But then if we don't do what we're supposed to do, right? See, here's the thing. What if we just go down in history as a step, a step within the stages? See, because we say it's no mystery God, right? So it's not just, you know, preordained. You got to write the history and then you got to live it out too. So just because the history is written, right, that don't mean that you're the one they talking about. See, we could just go down in history when they look back and say, yeah, these cats right here, you know, they was instrumental because they put that word out there and make it worldwide. To see, they didn't have the power. They didn't have the power to really make it manifest. So see, these other cats over here, they had to pick it up and make it happen. See, if we don't take it to the stage of culture, see, we like to say that there's people that already had the knowledge and wisdom, and then we came with the mathematics and had the understanding, right? But do that mean that we the people that is going to live it out? That's just, you know, the science that we teach. What we saying is that that's the meat of the action right there. That's the meat of the whole thing. There's no mystery, God, right? And we dealing with arm, leg, arm, head. So I said the drummer, I went through to keep my word bond in my whole earth. Yeah, that's you know, that's how you say, man, uh, that's real important because, I'm hoping people keep their word, because I already told people, look, I don't want anybody, I've already banned certain people from speaking. Like, just in case, if I go before them, don't let this person speak. If they're allowed to come or whatever, right? Do not let this person speak. Chill, all those things, just completing the cipher. You're right, man. You, you gotta get a hold of yourself sometimes. Oh, yeah, I'm trying to get this phone working. All right. Look like it's going through now. But yeah, when you look all around, Shakanulu, the troublemaker. I was just telling Mega Divine Wisdom, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Actually, nothing. I was messing with my phone here. I gotta set my phone back to the factory or something. Right now, that's the last thing I could think to do, man. I was actually trying to call you and should have shot. But you know, you did we I think I talked about that before. I watched those I used to watch that show, Preppers. Yeah, that's what I'm doing, Mr. 120. I just blew the phone out and I'll see if it works now. District 120, you work for the phone company. Which one? I got T-Mobile. Oh, snap. I wonder if that's what happened. Oh, no, I did that after. West Coast, what's the deal? Yeah, we was just talking about some of the events that's going on and saying that, when is it, are we coming close to the time where, it's time to brace. Is it getting time to brace for impact? Yeah, I did the volume up and down. That ain't really that still ain't make it happen. So now I'm trying this. But it's been other things going on. Like I wasn't able to like that I haven't been able to send out the alerts. Like it's just been other little things where I was like, man, let me. All right, Shakanulu, happy born day. You know what I'm saying? Yes, it's that season. Born days is coming up. Mine is well, I'm still a ways off, but my son is coming up in a couple of days, not a couple of weeks. And my daughter is next month. My other daughter is the month after that. Yeah, the phone is it's like not the network is not recognizing it. Like it's it's if as soon as I call, it don't even it just call ended. And like if you call me, you just hear like some kind of busy signal or something. But it's like it's not the network is not recognizing it or something. What you said? Whack 100 and Game is blackmailing Kanye. Yeah, I'm hoping it's not my SIM card, man. If it's possible though. That's what it's kind of looking like. But I don't want to have to be going through. I hate going through any kind of system. See, and the thing is, I don't know when to stop working because when I be in the when I be inside, I'm always on Wi-Fi. Yeah, nah, that's what I'm saying. If you call me, I ain't. It's nothing is coming through. I do a whole bunch of crap over there. Yeah, nah, that stuff. I told you, man. I'm professional, man. This shit is not. Get my stuff downloaded from iCloud right now. We'll see. Yeah, all these phone companies, man, is who knows, man. But you know what's wild too? I was looking at the actual what's the name. I went to research it myself. I said I had heard that yesterday about the lady that the case for abortion is about, Roe. Yeah, it wasn't she didn't say she was raped by a black man. She said that she was gang raped by a group of black men. And, while that is not, that's not what the decision was made on, that's not what the case was tried on. It was a situation where, just like in the black community, right? You had Thurgood Marshall and his team out there looking for particular cases. You know what I'm saying? Like for instance, when they wanted to do the Brown versus Board of Education, they was looking for particular kids that was like, okay, you don't have no reason to not let them in. You know what I'm saying? Like it's, you know, they from, upstanding backgrounds, they, brilliant educationally, and some of them have even been going to school with white kids. So by that same token, uh, you know, uh, feminists, these two feminist lawyers, they was looking for a case that, would help them, get that law changed. So, of course, a situation like that, where it's like, okay, this woman is being forced to, have a baby as a result of her being gang raped by three black men. That's the kind of thing that's gonna bring it to the attention of those types of lawyers. But just saying, uh, add it to the list. Quite a few other things. You know about the Jonesboro boys. Jones is the Jonesboro boys. Same kind of situation. Uh, they was it was like during the Great Depression, and they was young kids. They was riding the trains. They was hobos too. Where they was riding around, trying to look for work or whatever. And it was some white dudes on the train too. I guess they was about their same age. Whatever happened, they had to shake on the train. You know what I'm saying? So being that they on the train fighting or whatever, now the people know they on the train, so they call the cops. When they get to where the next stop is, the cops come in and they catch the black dudes, right, for fighting with the white dudes, but then they catch these two white women. Now, the white women, they on the train, they riding around looking for work too, but they looking for a different, they not going to be working 9 to 5, maybe 5 to 9, but they not going to be, they looking for a little for work in the world's oldest profession there. And so being that they didn't want to get caught, and go to jail for what they was doing, they said that the black kids raped them. The Jonesboro boys. Added to the list. Yo, are prices sky high where everybody else is right now? Is anyone starting to notice that right now you can spend like $30 at the bodega? Like there was a time I don't recall ever spending like $10 at the bodega. Oh yeah, we started to get 7-Eleven here. That's something that happened in New York. Is that for years, uh, you know, those kind of chain stores, they just couldn't penetrate New York. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, 7-Eleven is out here now. Prices sky high in there too. Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah, Dollar Tree is $1.25 tree now. Yeah. The 99-cent stores is not 99 cents no more. Fly phrase from the Providence plantation. Like Divine Wisdom said, my groceries went from about 60, 70 a week to about $100 a week. Yeah, I'm telling you. I remember you used to be able to get the two chicken breasts. It used to be the two chicken breasts in the pack for like $6. Now it's like $9, $10. Like they don't even hardly have the two in the pack no more. You gotta get the three in the pack. It ain't even. That's like one. Yeah, I think that's what I gotta find the boosters. And then with the, you gotta tell the boosters to come downtown. Eric Reed said, "Don't even think about getting wings." See, the thing I don't get a lot of. I usually just deal with the breast because it's easy to clean. I don't want to go through a whole bunch. $80, $80 plus to fill up the tank. That's what I'm saying, man. That's when you're getting up there. Which did I think Dwayne Reed on 125th closed? You mean the CBS? Gas for a Corolla was about $30. Now it's 48. Yeah, that's when you really dozen eggs, $5. That's what I'm saying. All this stuff. People not even selling their link cards. Oh boy, yeah, hey man, look. But uh, that's you know we had to see how that works out for them. The thighs is the best and cheapest part of the chicken, plus more flavor. I just don't like doing all that cleaning. See, the breasts come without everything is already prepared. Unless if I go to the butcher, like I used to go to the Jefferson Market over there, where they got the butchers, and I let them, do all the hard work. Bread elevation says back to some oatmeal and coffee. Hey man, people selling link is trying to get more than 50 cents on a dollar. That's how it is. I think I finally figured out why everybody went out and got toilet paper. I seen a dude, he had like a whole, like, it was like a whole pallet. It was like a whole pallet of toilet paper. He was selling for $1. He was getting that bread too. Like people, somebody asked him like, "Yo, uh, can I get a play on that?" He's like, nah, son, I don't need that out you, man. I need that. That's can't do it. He was, yeah, yeah, 793rd. That's what I was. What you talking about buying bulk? I was just thinking, that, you gotta start going to, I don't know where, like Walmart or something, and getting those big packs over there. It's about to go back to the 70s, man. Where see, like in the 70s, fat people wasn't that fat. Like if you look at like Fat Albert, he wasn't that fat. Uh, I think we got Costco. We got more BJ's though in New York, inside New York, like right outside New York, like Long Island, New Jersey. They got all of them. So who got the 415 number in the chat? I don't know. So what's the deal? I was waiting for the guy IB. Let me see if I get him to come in. The guy IB was he was talking about the abortion science. Asked me if I cut it. I was like, I can't really talk about it. All right. Test. Nah, still not working. Yep. Dude, my SIM card is just shot. Well, hope it's covered on the insurance. Damn. Uh, man, I gotta actually find that joint was brilliant elevation say. Yeah, see, that's what you gotta have somebody on the inside. Yeah, you gotta have somebody on the inside. Meatless Mondays. He says it's funny that we say outside New York when you're talking about New York City. Yeah, this is New York. This is New York. It's kind of, that's kind of like, you got New York and the rest of the world is like the suburbs. But seriously though, New York had a lot of, there was a lot of New York stores. Like for instance, I was talking today about how Foot Locker has gained a monopoly on sneakers now in New York. You know what I'm saying? It used to be uh, you had Herman's and Modell's, uh, a couple other stores too. You know what I'm saying? Where Bomb Bombs, where you could get kicks, but now it's just Foot Locker. So you don't get the same amount of deals on sneakers now. Like there's a couple of stores like on 125th, you got Champs. So they got, Champs is still a fairly decent store. They have some jump offs in there. That keep them a little bit honest. And then you also got the cats up here where they got the vintage jump offs and all of that. But right now, uh, other than Foot Locker, you got to go to the Nike stores or the Adidas stores. You know what I'm saying? Like the brands have their own stores in New York now. That type of stuff didn't exist before. Like you had to go through some kind of New York business to be doing business here. You're not just coming in here. Like to this day right now, they don't allow Walmart. Walmart is not allowed in Walmart is not allowed in New York City. You thought New York City was the capital of the state? Well, like I said, New York City is actually the capital of the world, Craig. The world. But I digress. Yeah, we have foot action here, but foot action is going uh VIM. They don't have, the selection there is not just not on par with Foot Locker. Dr. J's as well. Dr. J's is they had their run, and then I think they try to fly a little too close to the sun. You know what I'm saying? They got a little too corporate. You know, especially for the type of clientele, the type of areas they was in. Dr. J's was a store you used to be able to go to Dr. J's and always get, a discount. You're getting, whatever. You never go to Dr. J's and just pay. You know what I'm saying? You gotta ask for something. And then they had a minute where they just got corporate, like, nah, not at all. Like, this is the price plus the tax. You wasn't paying no tax at Dr. J back in the day. And I think just, when you got stores on Fordham Road and 3rd Avenue and 14th Street, that's not gonna work. Oh man, Don Bishop, why would you say that about Jamaica Ave? Why would you say they got knockoffs on Jamaica Ave? people people out there trying to make $1. You gonna call they weird knockoffs? Sure with you. Sure with you, Don Bishop. Hey, Don Bishop, did you know the twins? Or do you know the twins? Yeah, Champs is definitely under Foot Locker, but they got a decent selection where, you know, they they uh they could battle much better than VIM. Foot Locker is beefing with Nike. Hmm. There's a handful of VIMs left. There's a VIM on is that Second Avenue or Third Avenue? That's Third Avenue and like 120th, 119th is a VIM. There's a VIM on Jamaica Avenue. It's not on 165th, but right over there. And there's one more I can't think of where it's at. It's a handful of VIMs, but yeah, when you go in there, it's not like back in the days when they had the rabbit ears and the two tones. Absolutely not. That's the other one right there, 793rd. Yeah, it's one up on White Plains. Yeah, that's right. There's on Fulton and Nostrum. But yeah, it's just they in the cut now. You can miss them. Man, listen, Costco got Pumas for $25. Yeah, which one? The suede ones? Yeah, you can get them. You can get them at VIM for $20. Yeah, Frank's is still open on Tremont. Frank's. They got all that other stuff in there too, though. Hunting and shit like that. But they another jump off that they good, but they don't got the same type of selection. But yeah, Frank's been there forever, man. Remember they used to go in there back in the days. That was the first place I went. They got all the rifles in there and shit. I used to wild out every time we used to go in there. But oh yeah, Don Bishop. It was twins. They used to be I'm pretty sure they was from what's that? Uh goddamn. They should wrestle on God Brewer, maybe one of them streets. But they used to always at one time they had dreads. They used to always come on the Ave. They used to always be up on Jamaica Ave. They used to work out. Like they was just too. I don't really know, all that much. I just knew them from the Ave. Like they was dudes that would be there all the time, man. I heard one of them just returned to the essence, like on some like off the wall shit. Like he he was in the car or whatever, and he just got out to go to the store, and somebody just shot. Like they wasn't even shooting at him. Like just they shot, and he happened to get hit. They said he got shot in the head. But like I didn't know them that well, but I knew them from the app. I used to always see them. They was, just cool dudes. Oh, you knew them? You knew them complete? Gee, I probably used to see you back in the days too and shit. You know what I'm saying? I remember they had, other brothers that they used to be around, but they used to stand out. They always out there shirt off. You know what I'm saying? they, they out there shirt off making a scene. But yeah, that was fucked up, man. Bishop, you just made me think of that, man. That was crazy when I heard that, man. Some other crazy people up on the app, man. That's the thing I keep telling you until I don't know what's going on with that, man. People they beating up old people at a high rate right now. And I meant to warn you too, West Coast wise. I told you anybody that talking to what on the mic, see West Coast wise, and and uh now I was born. See, y'all start talking on the mic. You see somebody they try Will Smith, Dave Chappelle. They try they try Will Smith. I told y'all, son, you got you gotta be ready. Like, that's what I'm saying. You just on every level, right? Shit is just out of control right now, man. Let me tell you, man. Look, me and the guy was talking about that earlier. See, people starting to fuck with my PTSD. But I see a motherfucker. Let me walk over here, man, across the street, man. Cause you making me nervous. you, you, you fuck around and make me attack you. Cause you fucking with my nerves. You walk over here, man. I don't even know what your beef is, but you look volatile. Why you gonna say he formed tackles? Oh man, he did though. So I was like, what the fuck? But yeah, they beat him down. He definitely he didn't win no award like Will Smith. Yeah, I was wondering. They said his arm was broke. I think that was just the cuffs. I think he just crazy and just had the cuffs on funny. He said, "My young Earth said ignorant people make her feel claustrophobic." I mean, like I said, he picked the right person at the right time. You know what I'm saying? It's you got to remember, right, that from the Academy Award standpoint, right? Uh, from the Academy Award standpoint, they're gonna vet whoever they allow to do that. You know what I'm saying? Now they already know if they let Tom Cruise or some other cat from the suburbs that you only fight in the movies. That's different. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna nobody that fights that they expect to fight in real life is ever going to get that job hosting the Oscars or whatever that was. Yeah, District 120, you saw what I saw is that the arm that was the elbow was facing forward, it had a handcuff on it. So I don't think they would have handcuffed his broken arm and shit. You know what I'm saying? And he would have been, the picture that I saw, he looked, you know, pretty regular. Like I think if he was on that gurney and his arm was broke and cuffed and that shit was shaking with every time the whistle name, he would have been I think he was the reaction we saw would have been a little bit but yeah, he definitely you can see I don't know how long I don't know how long after the beat down those pictures was taken, but you can, you can definitely see you can definitely see that he was involved in an altercation. He broke his hands. Yeah, no, yeah, that could have been the case. I'm just telling you, man. Yeah, I noticed the black paint on his fingernails. But I'm just saying to anybody that if you talk on the mic, if you talk on the mic, you got to be prepared. If you talk on the mic, you got to be prepared to to get Will Smith or whatever this guy is. You know, you just make sure you got Jamie Foxx with you when you go outside. Play stupid games with stupid prizes. Yeah, you heard what Chris Rock said? Yeah, Howard Stern said Will Smith should have got beat down. But look, if you talk on the mic, listen, I'm trying to tell you, anybody that talks on the mic, you gotta say, wait a minute. Fuck is you doing? Did you just slap the shit out of me? Hey, whoa. Whoa. What's the deal, man? Yeah, Chris. They say Chris Rock. They say Chris Rock came on stage and asked Dave Chappelle, "Was that Will Smith?" That's crazy. Freedom of speech. You know, uh, absolutely. Uh, freedom of speech and everything. Uh, but with freedom has to come responsibility. It's got to be responsibility of speech too. You know what I'm saying? Now, the Dave Chappelle guy, he appears to be crazy. It actually, they were saying that he's a rapper. I was reading some of the stories, and they were saying that he actually had a record where he was speaking about being in the place, where he attacked Dave Chappelle, attacking somebody, and that he did a record before named Dave Chappelle. So this guy was probably uh, obsessed. You know what I'm saying? In the Chris Rock situation, I think that applies a little bit more freedom of speech. And with that one, it's a matter of the forum that you in. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? You know, you a comedian, you know what I'm saying? Look, even if niggas is playing in dozens, you know what I'm saying? Even if niggas is playing the dozens or whatever it be, you know what I'm saying? That's you know what I'm saying, you know, to like that was like you lost. Like you lost and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like if dudes is snapping, that's what we used to call it. Right? Dudes is snapping, and then you get to the point where you want to fight, you lost, son. Like you gonna make it worse. Everybody's gonna laugh at you even more because you got mad. That's how bad he got you, son. He You know what I'm saying? Now you're not even cool. Like, we don't even want to hang with you like that now because you volatile, son. Can't you don't know how to play? You know what I'm saying? You volatile, son. We can't use sore loser, B. We can't fuck with you. You know, so with that, yeah, that definitely falls in line of freedom of speech, you know what I'm saying? That, we talking about jokes, you know what I mean? But there's a limit too, you know what I mean? Where, okay, we're not talking about that forum. You know what I mean? Like certain times, yeah, we in this forum and this is how we playing here. You know what I'm saying? Just like uh, if you at work and you sitting at your desk and you pushing whatever paper, you know what I'm saying? And somebody that could be your best friend or whatever you call a person that's super close to you or whatever, this motherfucker come up and shoot you with a paintball gun while you at work. It's like, yo, what the fuck are you doing? Like, yeah, we play like that. We go to paintball or whatever. We, you know what I'm saying? But nigga, if I'm at work right now, you know what I'm saying? That's wholly inappropriate. You know what I'm saying? So, just in terms of that, you know, and we see it reflecting in other things, like how right now they having this battle over. It's like, okay, when you teaching sexuality or sex or whatever it might be, right, to young kids, you understand what I'm saying? That is, not really at an age where they can comprehend these things, or really where, that's in their, daily pattern of thoughts, or where is necessary for their development. You know what I'm saying? That is this, same kind of thing where it's like, okay, yeah, the teacher has freedom of speech. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I don't know if it's gonna get to this level, but has anybody heard of the I think it's called the Scopes monkey trial. Let me put the what's her name. I was just telling everybody that she was asking if I had covered abortion, and I was like, man, I don't think I'm allowed to. I don't think I'm allowed to speak on it. You know what I'm saying? Plus, that topic is not all that controversial on this particular channel. Because I think most people here fall on one side. Bishop said that was my cousin Kane, big fat kid that could snap on dudes, and then they want to fight. I didn't bring people around him. Well, the people, uh, how would you say, people that had some type of characteristic, right, that made them like an early target for snapping, became the best people at it because they had the thickest skin, and they had the most practice of of everybody, because you know somebody's probably telling fat jokes every day. You know what I'm saying? So those guys end up uh they end up being the best at it across the board. Anybody that I knew that they just had a characteristic that was kind of out there that people would immediately. Every Green said that was me. I had buck teeth and used to get torched. I was the goat and snapping by high school. See, I'm telling you, man, it was it's, it's like a New York phenomenon. I don't know if it works all over, but in New York, anybody that had a characteristic like that. With Greece, I started bombing first. Listen, you already know. You already know when you're using terms like bombing. This is war. Oh man. Well, Vincent, I'm already knowing people gonna come up to me like, "What you mean, 10 steps to becoming a 5%?" Oh man. That Bishop said that's why I added the fat part. We teased him as kids. then you became the ultra snapper. Yeah, I'm telling you, that's like
Peace.
oh, that's you. I was about to say, what the hell is that sound? You see me? I'm looking like, yo, what the fuck?
Yo, I just got finished watching AKA Jane Roe.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I just got finished watching that joint, man. I never
So,
I really never knew the background on that individual, Norma McCorvey.
well, you know why, right?
Yeah, because she was undesirable.
Well, how you mean?
Like, for instance, like she was similar to Claudette Colvin.
Who's Claudette Colvin?
So, in the Rosa Parks case, they
All
used
right, yeah,
Rosa
all right, yeah, I
Parks,
know.
right? But Claudette Colvin, who lives in the Bronx, they didn't want to use her because of her background.
Mm-hmm.
It's sort of the same thing with Norma McCorvey. Even though they used her, they didn't want to use her um in person. They just used her the merits of her case to win the argument. But when it came down to her being presented in public, they didn't really want her to say anything at a lot of events.
Uh, oh yeah, we're gonna get back to that. I'm glad you reminded me of that. Complete the Scopes monkey trial.
Oh
Just,
wow.
but what I was saying though is that and she's not here no more. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to just be kicking her down. You know what
Not
I mean?
not.
But uh, you know, she robbed uh she robbed a gas station at 10 years old. Uh, she told multiple lies on multiple people. You know, then she admitted to uh, you know, she admitted that neither conviction, being pro-choice or pro-life, really was real with her. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm saying that I hear the part what you saying that she was from impoverished background and drugs and all of that stuff, but I'm saying that she would be a terrible, like, they could never put her on the stand, God. Like, it's not just it's you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it's the part, it's those parts too, you know what I mean, in terms of her socioeconomic status and American background and all that. But it's also that, like, yo, you just can't tell the truth.
It was crazy for me because they had a march on Washington, right? And they brought all of these Hollywood starlets on the stage to speak, and all these educated people. And this is when she first came out as the actual person who was Jane Roe. And she came to the event and they told her, listen, nah, you can't speak. But then on the flip side of it, she converted to Christianity. And when she converted to Christianity, now she was
Yeah.
anti-abortion. And on that side, they said they coached her because they didn't believe that she would have the right things to say at the time. So they
Well,
coached her into saying what she said.
in that documentary, she admitted that they paid her.
Yeah, that's a fact.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, yo, she's a character that's like, yo, we can't put you on the stand. Like, even if you was from high society, we cannot put you on the stand. You would get ate to shreds.
That's a fact. The whole thing is a lie from the beginning, though. That's the major portion of it. It's a lie from the beginning. She claimed that she got raped, and she wanted to get an abortion, but that was never true. She never got raped. Well, she got raped in her past, according to the
Yeah.
story. She was molested by, somebody that she was staying with when she was younger and raped or whatever. But in the specific case of the baby, she never had an abortion. In the
She
specific
never
case
had a
of
voice.
the baby, right? She didn't get raped. She was a street person, and she wound up getting pregnant. And she just came up with the rape story to try to convince the doctor that you know she should be able to get an abortion.
Born King said didn't roll lie about a black man sexually assaulting her. Well, she said that a group of black men gang raped her.
Actual fact, she said that. And the two lawyers that took on her case, they was looking for the perfect person to present this argument, right? The person needed to be, impoverished, poor, whatever, in a bad situation and all of that. But she just was the perfect case for them to present that argument. But according to what Sam Alito is saying right now, the case was shaky from the beginning, and they won just on some ad hoc shit. Pardon my French.
Mm,
They won, but it wasn't really, it was a shaky argument from the beginning.
mm. Yeah, I mean, that's I guess yeah, that's just on the merits of the legality of it. But dealing with the uh the subject matters that they've been putting in school recently, right?
Okay.
And it reminds me of reading about the Scopes monkey trial, where the the thing that they didn't want taught to the children at that time was evolution.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Now, you go into the legal cases and everything, right? I'm pretty sure didn't like he lost the case. They only charged him $1 or something, but didn't that kind of go along the lines of freedom of speech?
Uh, I think that is sort of freedom of speech, but it's a clause to freedom of speech. You can see it's freedom of speech, but you can't yell. That's the famous thing that they say is you can't yell fire in a movie theater.
Right,
So freedom of speech has its limits. But I don't know the exact arguments in the Scopes monkey trial. So I could
right. That's what I'm saying. But to me, that's what's being set up. Well, not being set up, but it's it reminds me of the same thing. You know what I mean? Where you got these radical people. Like I saw in the post today. I just saw the headline. I didn't read into it. Where there's a teacher that she's a pansexual, and she was discussing it with her junior high school class. You know what I'm saying? And so, now it's like a controversy over that and everything. So, you know, clearly that's what's going to be happening. Like, even uh, right now with the abortion thing, you know what I'm saying? The most radical people is like, look, we still want to do it, even if it's illegal anyway. You know what I'm saying?
absolutely.
So, uh, being that it's, the fight is definitely set up. It's definitely, when you're dealing with the certain people like Florida, you know, it's certainly people down there that's already, ready to challenge that somehow.
Yeah, they was saying they brought up an interesting statistic yesterday when we was having a discussion about it. They said that, although we 12, 13% of the population, meaning original people in the wilderness of North America, we making up over about 45% of the abortions.
Mm.
That's a major disparity. How was that? How can we be almost half of the abortions and only 12 to 13% of the population?
Listen, I heard another number. I heard another number that sounded crazy, but I've never asked a woman about that number, and she was like, "Yeah, nah, that don't sound right." Like all of them was like, "Yeah, yeah, sound about right." You know that there's been more babies aborted, more black babies aborted than was born. I don't know. I don't know where the statistic came from. I just heard somebody saying that, and that to me is that's I, I'm speechless.
Well, if you look at the almanac, right? If you look at most of the countries where original people are predominant, they have positive birth statistics, meaning they basically are fruitful and multiplying. However, when you look at a lot of countries in the worst part, right? They have negative birth statistics. Here in the wilderness of North America, it looks like our birth statistics is flat. So something definitely is affecting us here. Does that make sense? That makes sense?
Yeah, I mean, well, I actually heard that. Well, this argument presented that builds on what you was just saying, that uh, that could possibly be where the push is coming from to overturn Roe v. Wade.
He argued in a footnote that the the beginnings of Roe v. Wade, I mean the beginnings of the abortion, um, the fight for abortion was started in the eugenics movement with Margaret Sanger. He put that in the footnote and he cited some things about Margaret Sanger and the eugenics movement.
Who, Alito?
Absolutely.
Wow. Well, it could be. Remember now, Alito. That I don't. I'm not sure, but that name sounds Italian or Eastern European, maybe. You know what I'm saying? And originally they was targets of eugenics too. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? But before they was white.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So this ain't no conspiracy bullshit. You know what I'm saying? For lack of a better term, it ain't no conspiracy. This is real deal. And it's a shame that, for me, it's a shame that it's other people that's arguing these things and we're not in the argument.
Uh, I mean, that's been ingrained. Uh, I don't recall. You know what I'm saying? At that point, I wasn't really, watching society or the news and none of that. You know what I'm saying? In 1973. But you know, just from when you hear feminists speak, it's like abortion is like the single most important thing. Like if they don't have abortion, then no woman can ever you know what I'm saying?
Yo.
No woman will ever be able to succeed You know what I'm saying? Unless there's like, before a boy, like that shit is like fucking Emancipation Proclamation or something. Like even greater than that is I for me it's something different, but uh
I mean, being objective, right? If we did Jack Day argument in the minuscule portion, right? The part that I can never get over is that you're saying that men should never be able to have any say in the situation. Now, in my mind, there's no other way for the human race to have babies beyond a man joining with a woman. So how can we have no say in the way that the human race produces children when we're part of it?
I mean, these is all the ideas of the patriarchy where motherhood is slavery.
So who's the argument with? Because they're making it against men. The argument is not against men. We did not make this way, right?
Well,
Your argument is with nature, God, the stork, whatever you want to call it.
well, to take it back to Sanger, right? Now I was born. That's Sanger. Uh, that was uh, that was also a part of her original logic. Was that her father killed her mother by getting her pregnant, multiple times. But I'm saying her idea was that her father killed her mother.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, guy, that's that is actually a part of the original logic behind it is that men are enslaving. Like I heard this. Wait, let me see if I can find it. It was like I think I saw it in a post. It was women speaking about he was like feminist activists, and they were speaking about how they saw the ruling, and how they thought it was going to impact women and everything. And this one lady was like, women are not going to be able to marry the men that they love, and just shit that was like, wait a minute, what's that got to do with having abortions? Like, I mean, I didn't get that, but you know, that's all of that goes with the patriarchy, man. That's why I don't buy it.
They took Margaret Sanger name off.
Yeah, because she's problematic.
Absolutely. And so is Norma McCorvey.
Hmm.
So the whole situation is problematic. And the argument is problematic. Because if you wasn't born with two heartbeats, then how is this your body? It's in your body. But how is this your body if you wasn't born with two heartbeats?
I
We
mean,
talking about 24 weeks, God.
well, that's the science of the War Department and the Defense Department. You know what I'm saying? That's the science of just first of all, once you change all of the names and shit, you know what I mean? Where it's it's a fetus. You know what I'm saying? You know, if you call it anything other than a baby, you understand what I'm saying? Then you know that language can kind of cover up, you know what I'm saying, what's actually what's actually happening. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like if you say, you know, I'm gonna kill that motherfucker, you know, that's different than saying, you know, I'm gonna kill that father right there. You know what I'm saying? That brother, that son, that nephew, that uncle, I'm gonna kill him. You see what I'm saying? So you know, is like, remember when you first went to health class, right? And they started doing the sex education and they start putting these words, you're like, what the fuck is that? You know what I'm saying? You take it, you know, just by using these terms, now you put it in a different uh you know mindset to how people is looking at it, you know. But
Have you ever been to a clinic?
I went one time and it was bugged too when I went in there because, you know, I'm thinking this shit is supposed to be some discreet shit. So the waiting room is like 150.
Yo.
It's like 150. Listen, you know,
But who was outside though? Did they have the people outside with the pictures?
did they? I don't recall. See, but this was some like the, you know, because I didn't, you know, I'm going down there, you know, actually somebody else, right? It's like, yo, he's going with us because she had one of them ectopic pregnancies or some shit.
Oh, that's something she could have died. It was in a
Yeah,
fallopian tube.
right. So they going down to the place and shit. He like, yo, roll me down there. Yo, the shit is in the cut, like on Park Avenue and like 27th Street or some shit. Like it was some shit like, yo, fuck we you know what I'm saying? Like I pass this shit all the time. I know this shit was his.
Uh-oh, breaking news. What is that? Breaking news. Um, Miss Mom of NYPD cop shot dead inside Queens home. Neighbor recounts loud argument in backyard.
Oh yeah, I was reading that story. That was one of the things I was saying in the beginning, man, about the point of no return, man. You know what I'm saying? Where, you know, you start to be in society, like I said, it's already, you know, motherfuckers fucking my PTSD, man. With certain motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? Hey, look, I gotta go across the street for you, man.
Yeah, I think it's too far gone right now. What's up? Everything is up right now.
Yeah.
It's too far gone. I don't know. I don't think it's no return from this. We about to go all the way through the cycle, man. We about to go all the way through the cycle, yo. It's gonna get crazy. You know, the whole mass incarceration thing is gonna be initiated again. And then, you know, maybe 10 years later, we'll be talking about this moment in history and talking about why is so many of us incarcerated again. But I do got a question for you though, right?
Mm-hmm.
When they say the nurse's law, right, is to kill the black baby at birth by sticking the pin in his head and
Mm-hmm.
feeding it to a wild beast, right? Where he get that science from? Was they doing that in the 30s? Where he get that science from?
Was well, they probably was doing it, but you know, not it wasn't because I think like didn't like Marilyn Monroe had an abortion or something like that.
I think I did hear that.
Yeah, so like shit was happening, you know what I mean? But it wasn't, you know, it's not gonna be medical literature and shit like that about it.
Cause that always hit me. That degree right there, the way he broke that down, it's just so much in that degree speaking to, you know, I say the conditions of today, especially with those statistics the way they are, as far as the disparity of more original people engaging in that process.
Yeah, I thought, I didn't, that shocked me too. The fact that the first Planned Parenthood was open, like in the hood, I would think would be open, somewhere, with,
Hollywood, California.
right, yeah, something like that. But yeah, what's this? Sir Love said, not for nothing, women are doing a great cultivating the seeds, reverse roles. I wonder when will they realize and fall back? When the roles start to uh, have a practical application again. You see what I'm saying? In this world that we live in, where everything is digital, anybody can, punch the code in on the keyboard here, and have this whole big machine, that weighs tons. It can move specifically in the position. You see what I mean? So you can get a woman to do it. We could have equity like that. You know what I'm saying? But if we get back to the point where it's like, like what we saying, you know, suppose if it gets to that level where it's like, we're gonna have to, we could get like, rice and shit or certain things, but look, for the meat, man, this shit is too expensive in the supermarket. You know what I'm saying? We gotta get out there and hunt, or we gotta, find some kind of way to, have, many farms or something where we dealing with these 2,000-pound animals and shit like that. Then we'll see a lot of people ready to play their role.
Yo, I took psychology. I took psychology in college, and one of the classes that I took, I think, was family psychology. They had a book talking about um family roles throughout the lifespan. But anyway, long story short, uh it was a culture seed lady that was teaching the class. And one of the things she kept coming back to was that there's no win for the woman in marriage or in family life. She was saying that it's just no win for the woman in marriage or family life. And
Hmm.
I'm like, yo, that teaching right there, I challenged her right in the class. I'm like, how you teaching people this? You saying that there's no marriages, there's no women that have children with men where or have relationships with men that is mutually beneficial. She's saying that it's all for the man. There's no win for the woman in this situation.
I mean, well, look, this is something that I said yesterday, you know, that I realized listening to Clubhouse, right? Is that, you know, uh, as a sacred thing, right? Anything that's sacred, uh, the price, what I'm saying? If it's sacred, it's something you willing to sacrifice for. You understand what I'm saying? But, uh, relationships, at least the way they be discussed right now, uh, is more just like a straight business proposition. Like the business proposition is first. You know what I'm saying? And as a business proposition, a relationship is not a, you know what I'm saying? You doing a lot of investment, right? Uh, for what could be a depreciating asset. You
You
know,
got
I'm saying if you're just speaking purely in economic terms, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you cutting another person in. See what I'm saying? So now these types of things like, yo, do you make more money than me or I make more money than you become super important and shit.
because
You
you put bringing another person into the household.
Yeah, but you cutting them into your loop. Like if you jet setting and you going to Miami and you know you taking pictures in San Tropez and all of this, right? And then now you got to pay for this other person.
But when did the tide switch to make us start thinking like this?
Yo, saying capitalism, yo, somehow it's like everything became about the bag. You know what I'm saying? You know, maybe when Jay-Z took over, you know what I'm saying? Because you still, you know, people like Pac still operated off of principles and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like he had money and everything, but you know, that ain't, you know, cause him to, you know, not still know what the streets was about and shit at least. You know what I'm saying? Be able to identify with the people. You know what I'm saying? You know, once Jay Z started, uh, you know, speaking about wealth, you know, 50%, you know, and just, you know, I guess the numbers just got so crazy. Like you just got people that they grew up on that aspect. Like I don't remember knowing how much money Stevie Wonder had. You know what I'm
Now,
saying?
that
Or
ain't that
yeah,
about that.
yeah, or you know, Rakim. Like you know, you might hear people got a little good deal or everything, but uh you know, once everything became about the bag and, you know, you started like another thing, you know, without getting into whatever was the specifics between Dame Dash and Jay-Z, right? There was some people that broke the situation down, right? Where they was like, yo, you know, Jay-Z did what he had to do to get that bag. You know what I'm saying? You know, Dame, you know, you trying to be on some friendship shit, you just stupid. And to me, that just said a lot. You know what I mean? When it became that, you know, for you to have trust, you know, with people that you came up with, you know what I'm saying? Y'all been doing y'all thing all this time. When that became stupid and it became, like even with 6ix9ine, you know what I'm saying? With people like, yeah, but he got the bag though, he's smart. Yeah, but now he's getting punched in the head and shit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And all the money is gone and shit. You understand what I'm saying? But it's just that, you know what I'm saying, or just how he could kind of buy his way into the hearts of the people. You know what I'm saying? Where he never would have been accepted, but now it's like, well, yo, if he getting the bag and shit, you know what I'm saying? Then you know it's all good that he different things that he doing, his style, we know it might not necessarily be accepted in a lot of the cultures that, he was a part of, before him, that probably wouldn't have been accepted, or before this uh kind of thing with the bag, and you hear it other places. You know what I'm saying? Like even when I'm watching the videos and you see brothers that's involved with the gang life, and you hear a lot of them saying that, yo, I don't like when they put people down. It's like, yeah, this nigga's just, he's a drug dealer or whatever. So he getting the money and shit, but he's really not one of us. Like y'all putting this dude down. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So it's like, yeah, y'all making him an OG or whatever, and it's like his money is trumping the principles. You know what I mean? So,
like South Central.
uh, oh yeah, the movie, yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's just had an impact, and I think that it won't be until people kind of something happens that takes people out of the illusion. Because don't get me wrong, it don't necessarily have to be no catastrophic disaster like that. Like in all reality, right? If somebody pulled the plug, son, there's a lot of us that's finished. Like I'm saying, think if somebody if it's just not no electricity for any extended period of time. We don't got landlines in our house no more. Everybody got a cell phone. How you gonna charge it?
I mean, but we become relying on these things, but you forgot about having a beeper?
No, but listen, that's you now you've taken it back. The difference between us and everybody else, well, not everybody else, but the difference between if you from before that time in the hood is that you know how to deal with poverty.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? One thing about people that was born in certain times is like, yeah, they could always go back. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not going to see a whole bunch of people that was born in the 70s jumping out the window because the stocks went down and shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know, we know how to get busy, but you know, if we ain't got to, we won't and shit. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying to the people who you know, they never opened the can with a butcher knife.
The culture seed Grant Cardone said today that only 80% of people don't have nothing to do with stocks. Like they don't even got no money in stocks.
Right. But the thing is that how many people, you know, they don't have no money invested in, right? But
Right.
how many people work for those companies?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So if Target, you know, loses so much that they go out of business, how much people, you know what I'm saying? You know, it's you know the revenue that they created, and then you know the multiplications of it.
Yo, but look, Jay-Z said, you know, that story of OJ was an ill bill that he put out though. And he said, you know, he was talking about buying paintings and real estate and all of that. But one of the major things he said is, I can't wait to get this shit to my children. You know what I'm saying? If we not having children, right? First of all, once you gone, you can't take you man. Them pharaohs is bugging out. They putting all the riches in their tombs and all of this. All you not taking that shit with you. The white man got all them all them riches and stuff that was in them tombs, right? They got them in the museums. They got them in their personal collections. They done made all of this money off of the stuff that they raided from them tombs, man. We can't take none of that stuff with us. The only way we gonna keep that stuff going is if we have people to pass it down to. We teach that what children are the link to the future, and they should be nurtured, respected, loved, protected, and educated. You know what I'm saying?
Uh, the I mean, this just this there's so many things that's just built into the education system now, G, that I just that you know, like from like I said, just you know, when I just be a fly on the wall and just listen to people talking, you know what I mean? It's just you know, things that was obvious. See, and this is another thing I was saying too, right? Is that this is a more utopian kind of time. Like people have these ideas that we could, you know, we could build all of these utopias and shit. You know what I'm saying? Where, you know, everybody is heard and shit and everybody gets to be independent and, you know, it doesn't have no impact on everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the thing that, you know, in society, it kind of don't have to happen now because it's not, you know, it's just not necessary. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, men don't have to be warriors. Because you got the police. You know what I'm saying? You don't gotta be hundreds because you got the supermarket. You see what I'm saying? So, with everything that everybody's saying, it's one of them things where, like I said, if you want a world, right, where anybody can disrespect anybody, you know what I'm saying? Like right now, disrespect is first.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? You hear a lot of conversations where it's like the disrespect comes first, and then the person go back and say, "Well, I'm not really like that. My bad for speaking to you like that or whatever." Like, but the disrespect is first. A world like that can only exist with police brutality.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because you know the only way that can happen is it can't be violence.
Right.
Words have to be the limit of violence. That's where I think that thing is coming from, where words is violence. Where you want to make this the limit of violence, you know, so now, y'all be violent against each other by talking shit to each other, right? But in that world, you have to have policing, right? And the police have to control people. See what I mean? Especially the people that can most easily, flout this law of no violence. And so they're gonna have to bust heads. That's in order to control shit, they're gonna have to bust heads. And that's their mentality.
But that makes a lot of sense because I remember somebody always telling me that, the police is really here to guarantee that people can live in Midtown. Like, yo, G, I went down to Midtown, right? We was down by Chelsea, by the High Line. You know where the High Line is at?
Yeah, yeah.
So the High Line, that they got that little mall right there, um, where they got the little statue or whatever. People done jumped off of that statue, killed themselves, all kind of stuff. But anyway, long story short, out there they had a big screen TV. People was out there watching TV. They had chairs out there. People was drinking wine, eating food, just living a utopia. There's no, I mean, if you juxtapose that with people in Harlem right now barbecuing on the sidewalk next to trash, rats, and everything else, there's no way that these two different sides of this city could exist without police.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way possible. This is what they call it, the tale of two cities. This is a total. They are actually living in heaven down there, G.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's like there was a movie back in the days. It was a kind of documentary called 100 Blocks from Tiffany's. You know what I'm saying? But this was a movie about the gangs in the early '70s and shit. You know what I'm saying? And so, uh, Park Avenue, that's in the Bronx, right? That's the same Park Avenue.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, they was just illustrating that, this is the world here in Tiffany's. You know what I'm saying? Where, we used to seeing this on TV and the movies, you know what I mean? But this is the world up here in the Bronx where the savage skulls and the savage nomads.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The poorest community at the bottom of 62 counties in New York.
Well, actually, at that time, New York was the Bronx, the South Bronx was the poorest congressional district in the country.
Yeah. So I mean, when you see people smash and grab during the buying large mansion protests,
Mm-hmm.
This is what they so mad about.
I mean, listen, you know, that was something. That's something. You know, I think people have so much. Uh, you know, like you said, the comfort level is so high that you know people don't even think about that.
It's crazy, G.
You know what I'm saying? People don't think about. Uh, See, that was kind of the lesson that they learned in the late 1800s, the early 1900s. You know, and then it kind of, you know, they applied it. They applied it after World War II. You know what I'm saying? Which was that, you know, if these people not eating, they're going to attack us. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Uh, you got assassinations going on all over the place, you know, where the common people, you know, whether it's the Tsar of Russia or, you know, different motherfuckers is they getting, you know, the King of France, you know, all of these different people is being assassinated by the common people because, you know, especially at the end of the monarch era, they absorbing so much of the money for their own wealth and to fight wars that the people ain't getting that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, the rich people developed the idea that look, we need to get this money, but there's a sweet spot. There's a sweet spot of shit that we have to give out. You understand what I'm saying? In order to keep the masses you know, satisfied and everything. You know what I'm saying? You know, there's gotta be enough bread with the circuses. You know what I'm saying? If you just got the circuses or you just got the bread, it's not really gonna work like that. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I think it's coming to a point where they might be overplaying their hand. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe it's playing right into their hand because uh, you know, which better way would it be, right, to eliminate eliminate, you know, some of the people that's your problem than with chaos?
Yeah. I mean, that's shit. All bullshit aside, that's why them stimmy checks, them PPP loans, and you know, them that unemployment and all of that, you know, that helped that kept the dogs that kept the dogs from biting the master, bruh.
Yeah, but it's just at this point, uh, you know, right now, I'm saying you know, to kind of feed the monster of capitalism, they creating factions or something. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? You know,
absolutely.
like right now, you know, you got uh, you know, a faction of people that have been in America. You know, their families have been in America. They was born and raised on the standard of living in America.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then they creating now another faction of people who, you know, they just come into America. So, you know, uh, the standard of living just at minimum wage in America, right, is better than the standard of living that they was born and raised on.
Absolutely.
You understand what I'm saying? And that's kind of what you're seeing now is those two groups of people fighting. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? You know, especially, you know, those are the people that's being, you know, kind of stoked into it with the propaganda. You know what I'm saying? And that's just one battle. You see what I'm saying? Just like right now, they just set up another battle. You know what I'm saying? With the pro-choice and uh, pro-life, that's going to be a battle now. You're going to see protests now with people on both sides and all of that. You know what I'm
They
saying?
had no way of winning, bro. The listen, the Democrats, the liberals, had no way of winning these midterm elections without this situation right here.
Mm.
Thing was down. All polls is down for them. Support for Biden is done. Support for Eric Adams is waning. All of these Democrats right now, it was going. They was the Republicans was going to sweep this election without this situation right here. This is going to be a rallying cry for women who are the highest percentage of voters to get out there and go into them polls and vote against the Republican Party.
I think they need to keep it like that though, because I think if they try to like referendum the shit, that they'll be disappointed. I think they'll find that there's a lot of women that's been ingrained in their mind that look, I don't want to, if a woman wants to have an abortion, she needs to, she should be in control of her body. I think most women could probably agree with that part, right? But I think when it really comes down to pulling the trigger, right, and saying that you with abortion, that's a different thing.
Well, according to the polls, they said that about 69% of people were for keeping the law in, like 30, 20, 30%, something like that, was saying only in extreme situations, and then like maybe only about 10 or 5%, a small percentage, was saying under no circumstances should there be abortion. So the highest percentage of people saying that they want to keep it in.
Yeah, but I'm saying that there's a lot of women, right, that will say that I would never have an abortion.
Mm.
I
So
defend I defend women's right to choose. Like if another woman wants to do that, you know, I respect her right to choose. But that's what I'm saying. If you ask them to pull the trigger themselves, for instance, some years ago, they had a referendum in LA, I think about in California, I think about gay marriage. But it was something dealing with the LGBTQIA community, right? And they put a referendum and it lost because black people voted against it.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying that along those same lines that, you know, if you want to do your thing, do your thing. But if you asking, black people to pull the trigger on it to say that I'm with that, you understand what I'm saying? Just like the thing in the school. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, you hire whatever teacher you want. We don't want you to discriminate against this person because of whatever. But you know, uh, when it comes to you actually teaching that to my second grader, my first grader, nah, I can't pull the trigger on that. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, they fear baiting a lot with that situation too, though, man, because they backdoor taking Black history out of the curriculums with this whole thing. They labeling everything CRT, but everything is not CRT. And this whole thing with the LGBTQ community, it's not in the same bag, but they just making it all the same bag.
That's the intersectionality.
Yeah, Kimberly Crenshaw, absolutely.
Is Kimberly Crenshaw. I thought that's what the lady Bell Hooks came up with.
No, Kimberly Crenshaw coined the term intersectionality.
And who's Kimberly Crenshaw?
So Kimberly Crenshaw is one of the founders of CRT. She was a student of Derek Bell, who fought when he left Harvard she was one of the people that fought to keep CRT being taught at Harvard, and she coined the term intersectionality because what she was mainly saying was, um, you may have, like, let's say you have a black woman that wants to get hired at a certain corporation, right? Now, they may be only hiring black males as janitors, but they're only hiring women as secretaries. So when this black woman files a discrimination suit, not only is she a black woman, I mean, not only is she black, but she's also a woman. So when she files the suit, you can't file it on both sides of the argument. You gotta file it on either you're filing it because you're discriminated because you're black, or you're filing it because you're discriminated because you're a woman. So she's saying that the intersectionality part of it, that they're both of these things, makes the situation way more intricate.
Uh, I mean, I can understand that concept. Some of the places that is taken though, because see, I think this is what has to kind of like this is where it gets dangerous, right? Is when we say now we have to uh, think about where the discrimination is coming from. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, for instance, uh, in the case of Emmett Till, right? The intersectionality was that he was black and a man.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Uh, and so I think at some point now we would have to, do mathematical calculations, right? And say, how many times uh, did black count, right, as the reason for the discrimination, and how many times did man count, right? How many times did women count? You know what I'm saying? Because like you said, the man, he gets a job as a janitor, right? The women gets a job as a secretary. You working up there with the air conditioning.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's possible that the advancement, right, of you working up there in the office, right, the potential is probably greater. Like, what could I become, the head foreman here? You know what I'm saying? You could end up, uh, you know, being instrumental in some department. Getting a role like that. So, there is that phenomenon of, right, in the corporate offices, we don't need, we can't have Dave Chappelle and Jamie Foxx in the C-suite.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We could have Chris Rock there because we can see that he's defanged. He's not gonna it's not gonna become dangerous. You know what I mean? Like if we slip up and tell the wrong joke in here, we we gotta worry about what's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? There's like, remember the case with the guy, the big muscular guy that he do a lot of comedy. He was the father on Everybody Loves Chris.
Oh, Terry Crews.
I now remember that situation he had a couple years ago.
Yeah, where the dude, he said the dude grabbed his man parts.
Now see, that's what I'm saying. Now, even though You know what I'm saying? He's a big man, right? There's something in his mind where whatever is going on over there in with his career, Hollywood, whatever, right? The shit was worth more than, him reacting. You know what I'm saying? And the way he expressed that it disturbed him that it happened. You know what I'm saying? You know, if it was somebody else, they probably would have reacted. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So, there's a barrier there. You know what I'm saying? Where, you can see it where, you know, certain people, they never come out of the office and talk to the black guy. You know what I'm saying? Or remember back in the days, when you used to go to Delancey Street or Canal Street, and they would have some black people there, acting like it was their store. But then whenever you ask for a deal, right, then that's when you would see they go back over here and this Jew motherfucker come out and look around the corner. You know what I'm saying? But they let him front it off. You know what I'm saying? So all I can say is, listen, man. I hope people wake up before it hit rock bottom.
I think we right there though, G. Because I'm gonna tell you like this, right? People not paying attention, but in the next 10 years, you're not going to be able to buy a home, man.
Well, with this interest rate thing, it may not be 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, I was being, I was trying to give it a little bit of time, but look, this thing is getting bad. You got these big corporations buying up all of the property.
Yeah,
and you're just gonna be priced out.
I do think this though, that eventually there's gonna have to be deflation. You know what I'm saying? Like they were saying back in the days that how the deuce became the deuce was they said the deuce was always the deuce. Like in the 1600s, there's people that write about coming to New York and shit and seeing some unsavory individuals down by the deuce. Like I think the deuce has been the deuce since it was New Amsterdam and shit.
Oh shit, where Rob Bourne at? I know he got the whole history on this.
But I'm saying in terms of the deuce that we grew up with, they were saying that came about because economic times got so hard that there was like a lot of those shits where it used to be the peep shows and shit like that.
Yeah,
that a lot of those was like grand theaters and shit at one time and shit. But that once the economy got so bad, the only way for them to make money was to start having those peep shows and shit. You know what I'm saying?
damn.
And eventually, like for instance, we was just talking about it, the building that they got on 126th Street. You know what I'm saying? It's been empty for a minute. Like that building, it's been at least like 5 years they was building that building. And it's no finished carpentry in there. Like it's some security guards that come there and watch it. But I'm saying that building, when you just look at the glass, it's like two different glass faces. That building that's a pretty penny, man. Like, that building is 50 plus 60, 70 million, whatever the fucking it is, G. And it's just sitting there. And a lot of other buildings around there they not at capacity.
And they keep building though. They building them everywhere. There's another one being built behind Hotel Teresa, behind my job. They built
Yeah, I've been seeing that. Yeah, but I'm saying I think at some point it's like, yeah, they gotta just let whoever in there that they can get in there.
and they gonna be run down like tenements in another.
Right. Yeah, they're gonna pull the plug out. You know what I'm saying? So, for instance, like on the Grand Concourse,
Mm-hmm.
on the Grand Concourse, there's a building that is actually famous. The claim to fame of that building is that the rich white cats down on Wall Street and Madison Avenue and everything, right? Like back in, I guess, the 1800s, early 1900s, that particular building is where they all kept their mistresses at.
Oh
You know what
snap!
I'm saying? And yo, not for nothing, son. It used to be parties in that building, son. And it did. Used to, yo, it was always, man. It was, it was always bad women at the parties, son. That building, without question, if you go around there, you always saw a lot of women. But at any rate, after a while, that building, if it was, became crack central. You know what I'm saying? A lot of buildings, at one time, they was talking about how Babe Ruth building turned into the Carter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But that's what happens. Like, yo, okay, you had that white flight, so now who's gonna come in there.
yeah.
So it's just start being whatever. But that's the part. Now, when it gets there, that's where I'm saying now we approaching rock bottom. That's what I mean. That see right now, I think shit is fucked up, right? But the illusion is great enough that people can kind of ignore it.
But you already drew the history up 25,000 years in advance of what you said earlier about there not being this thing, right? Where where people was coming up from the South during the Great Migration, all of these great factory cities and all of this stuff. There's no farm labor, there's no factory labor. Everybody's not getting into tech. So
Yeah.
what you gonna do? You're not gonna make that money working at brother.
And I'm gonna tell you another thing too, right? By the nature of tech itself, right? It reduces the jobs.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a lot of automation.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't need, all these 50,000 people to work in the factory like GM and shit.
Amazon got the store with nobody in there.
Yeah.
There's nobody in there. You just go in there, slide your card, and walk out the store.
But listen, a lot of places is getting like that. So you probably don't eat that, so you don't go in there. But son, it'd be like 5 people in McDonald's now.
Oh yeah, I don't mess with that.
So when you go in there now, they got like 5 big screens up, right? You go to the screen, you order your shit, you know what I'm saying, and then you go to the shit and they call the number. So like when you used to go in there and it'd be a row of cashiers,
Right.
nah, you might see 2 in the most of rush hour.
Yeah, that's another bad situation too, because you got people touching these kiosks during the pandemic. When, when
But
was the,
look,
when was the time you see somebody clean one of them kiosks?
that's the wild shit though, is that the kiosk is that was the solution because they don't want people doing a hand-to-hand contact. So you come in with the kiosk as the solution, yeah. So
But
yes,
you touching the kiosk. People don't wash their hands.
listen, for me, I always question that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't, you know much more about it than me, but that's what I looked at from the jump when we was dealing with that whole situation. It's like, yo, a lot of the things that, you know, a lot of the kind of policies that they instituted, right, was like the same policies that they instituted during the plague.
During the plague?
Yeah, like the isolation and shit. During the plague at that time, when somebody got the plague, they locked them up in the house and shit and boarded they shit up. Like
Yeah.
there's a particular guy, Nostradamus, I think is one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Nostradamus, he he could be the guy that he kind of popularized fresh air.
Mm.
Like he was going to people with the plague house and opening the windows back up and shit. Because
Mm.
remember at that time, that's what they was thinking. Shit is bad airs and shit.
Yeah,
That's
the miasma
the
theory.
miasmas, yeah. You know what I'm saying? So uh, at that time they was like, yo, you got that bad air, trapping you up in there with that air. You know what I'm saying? It's even certain towns where they just closed off the town, like they just built a wall around the town and shit, and just let all the people expire.
That's what they doing in China.
Yeah. So
That
just
shit ain't
saying,
working though. That shit don't work.
exactly. But that's my point, that it just seemed odd that, like you said, it's known not to work, but these are the things they was instituting.
When you I'm thinking of this, right? We talking about New York City, right? First of all, the subway. People don't go to the subway person and buy they Metro cards no more, or you know how we used to get tokens from the dude in the booth and all. Now everything is a kiosk. There's a machine. How many people is touching that machine? And what percentage of them do you think wash their hands?
Not for nothing. I'm gonna tell you something. I don't be fucking with the train no more. Listen, the next time they say jack the price, they better fire the motherfucking token booth motherfuckers first.
Absolutely.
They ain't doing a motherfucking thing. Like, these motherfuckers be sitting up in there, his profile. Hey, you walk up to them, they be looking like, "The fuck are you doing here for?"
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They looking, fuck are you doing?
That
So
I don't
yeah,
even go. I don't go in. I try not to go in there only under a desperate circumstance. But
then I stopped going in there when I go in there one day, one night, and the guy got his whole wardrobe hanging up on the pole where you hold onto when you standing up.
yeah,
Saying he got it. I'm talking about the whole row, son, is taken up. He got his on hanger, son.
right.
He got hanger. I ain't talking about just draped over the pole. He got hangers, son. With his
Yo,
whole fucking wardrobe, like a walk-in fucking closet, hanging up on the train and shit, right? So I'm looking at this nigga like, oh man, I gotta get the fuck out of here. Right? And as I'm walking off the train, I noticed this other cat. He's sitting there. He got his pants all the way down, G, to his ankles, like he taking a shit, right? But he's sitting on the seat, just his bare ass just sitting on the seat, man. I was
yo,
like, yeah, nah, this is it. I gotta go. I
this is a
got, I
lot
can't.
down there. It is, yo, it's crazy down there. It's an asylum, yo.
Yes, that's what I was like, yes,
Like, I was thinking about what you said earlier about the people that just be standing on the corner just screaming at the top of their lungs, yo.
Yeah, they smoking some kind of crack.
Joint, I don't think it's no coming back.
I'm gonna tell you another thing that was going on the last time. The last time I was on a train, every time the doors opened on 34th Street, motherfuckers was just sitting there shooting dope, son.
Damn.
I'm talking about just sitting there like this is the spot, G.
Fentanyl is a hell of a drug.
Yeah, I don't know what's doing.
Fentanyl is different, yo. They say fentanyl is 50 to 100 times stronger than morphine. And people don't use heroin no more. They use fentanyl.
Uh-huh.
Do you know what type of tolerance they gotta have right now?
Listen, man.
And
Like I
then
said, I
on top
lost
of
track
that,
of.
the drug that bring them back, one dose of that ain't bringing them back. One dose of that Narcan, naloxone is not gonna bring a person back off of fentanyl. You gotta hit them like 2 times with that joint. Boom.
Listen, man. I lost track when Ice came out. So, I remember when motherfuckers say, "Yo, this shit came on the news and shit." He said, "Yo, they got some shit called Ice. This shit is 30 times worse than crack." Like what? Shit is 30 times worse than crack. They say, yeah, that never penetrated New York. That's all they had to tell. That's all they had to tell us. Like, won't be experimenting with that.
Did you see the progression 30 days or 6 months on crystal meth? How the person look?
Nah, but I did see it was like a poster, right? When you came down to Central Booking in Manhattan and you go upstairs to the little shit where you go to the nurse or whatever they ask you if you're all right, then you take the pictures. When you were standing in that hallway, there was a poster right there, right? And
Mm-hmm.
it had like maybe 30 pictures, right? Of this woman and shit. You know what I mean? And in the first picture, right, she gets busted, smoking a little weed.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And you see her, she look right. She's all smiling. The picture, her hair's done and shit. You know, and uh, the shit, it keeps showing her getting arrested. Like she's in different places. Like I think the first shit she gets arrested in Miami. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? And eventually she gets, she switches over to New York and shit, right? And it's just showing that, it's like first she get caught with a little weed, then it progresses up. She get caught with a little coke, you know what I'm saying? And you can see like at first, she's still right, everything. And then start getting to the crack. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
it's like, everything is everything. And then it's like, yo, G, when the crystal meth pictures start, the fall off within like 2 or 3 pitches is worse than the because it's showing her career over like 20 years or something. You know what I mean? Like she's like 18 or something. You know what I mean? Then at the end she's like, 40 or whatever. And it's just showing, just how the shit fucked up her life and shit. You know what I mean? And it
Teeth
was
on, hair missing, face.
Yeah, and it's like, yo, son, the damage from that crystal meth, you know what I'm saying? I seen this other dude too. It was like a documentary I was watching about crystal meth and shit. And they were showing these different, but this was straight white American shit. You know what I'm saying? And uh, it was this dude. They showed him and shit. He was like captain of the football team and shit, homecoming king and shit and everything, you know. And then they showed him he just had a lifetime of fucking with crystal meth and shit. He was all fucked up and shit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
His parents was talking about all the shit they went through with him and shit, and they asked him like, "Yo, what happened and shit?" And he was like, "Yeah, when I was young, I was dealing with cocaine, and then one day I went to the dealer, and he said, 'Yeah, I don't got no cocaine. I got some of this.'" And I was like, "Yeah, fuck it." And that was like, that was one of the moments where I was like, "Yes, that's the difference between white people and black people right there."
That's a fact.
What?
I can't hold up. I'm a substance abuse counselor.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a substance abuse counselor. Just last week, I had a session with a dude who told me that he got into crystal meth right out here in the city.
Mm-hmm.
And the first time he tried it was because they use it a lot in front of the peep shows and those sex stores. It's a lot of people that pump it around there.
He was homosexual.
Yes.
Yeah. That. That go together, yeah. Them all night parties they should have over at the Limelight and all that. You remember that guy?
Uh-huh.
You know the dude. It was a dude because I just read about that story the other day. You remember the club kid murder? They killed that kid Angel from New Jersey.
Okay.
A dude, he just OD'd. You know what I'm saying? Like last week and shit. Because he just had a whole lifetime of drugs, but he was involved with this shit. But like his parents was rich or some shit, so he didn't end up going to jail with the other dude and shit. But the other dude OD too, and all of them, yeah, they was fucking with that crystal.
Now I didn't interview thousands of people, God, and I'm gonna tell you one thing that never fails when it comes to hard drugs. The men always say a woman turned them on to it,
Yeah.
and women always say a man turned them on to it.
Mm-hmm.
That dynamic is crazy to me.
Yeah. I mean, look, one brother told me one time some shit. It was like, damn, son, you know, in that circumstance, I suppose anybody could become a crackhead. You know what I'm saying? Because listen, he
Right.
said, listen, he didn't know what crack was, right? This is when it was first coming out. So he said, the chick sets everything up in the pipe, right? And she says, try this, right? So he says, right as he fires it up, right? And she starts performing oral sex on him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yo, listen, I never smoked crack. From what I heard, like, listen, that's like a double whammy, son. Like,
Classical conditioning.
listen, you you got to think. He said this happened before anybody knew what a crackhead is.
Right.
It's different. Now you already know. Like, now I'm not fucking with that. But I was like, damn, that's quite an introduction right there.
Man, I met a dude a day or two ago. Dude was, I say he probably was 38. Yo, if you look at this dude, I'm talking about his furniture was missing in his mouth. He got all of these scars on his face, hair looking Yo, people is still indulgent. Hard body. and at young ages.
Yeah.
Yo, but look, I gotta get up this tomorrow morning and do some outreach and all of that. So
Yeah, no doubt. I gotta get up early and go get my goddamn phone fixed and shit. I think that my SIM card or something is shot, man. Like I can,
gotta get rid of that Metro PCS you got over there.
yeah, whatever this is, man. Trash mobile and shit.
You know T-Mobile ain't no good, man. You better go to Verizon, man.
Man, listen, right now, man, I need to make my own company or something.
I agree.
Need to go back to the fucking string. Need to go back to the string and the styrofoam cups.
Shit, man, it's a shame we ain't got no damn Wakanda phone. We ain't got no Wakanda car. Man, it's messed up, man. We got to get this thing together, man. Listen, man, all my scientists out there, all y'all, man, teach your children to get into STEM, teach them to be entrepreneurs, teach them so we can get some equity in this thing. Peace. Peace to the people.
All right, no doubt. Peace. So, I was, we covered a couple topics there. Visible is $50 a month, unlimited everything. Who knows, man? Probably have to find some way to make the signal travel on the ethers or something. Gotta do like what's his name? Tesla or something. Maybe have to explore that, because that would be the issue with that right now is that the infrastructure is already built. You know what I'm saying? And remember, even though the signal travels wirelessly from our phone to the towers, you know what I'm saying? Those towers is still connected to the infrastructure. See, I don't like them, these types of plans. It's like my shit, my shit is my shit is on 5G and shit. I don't like them. I don't like when they reduce my service. You need a satellite? How much you? They got satellites. You probably could rent. You probably could. You probably could rent or get some type of subscription where like I know Elon Musk got a lot of satellites up there. It's probably a way you can pay some type of fee to be able to use them. Yeah, I haven't watched TV in a minute. Oh man, yeah, that kind of ruins it right there, complete. Lord Jamar says satellites don't really exist, so I guess we gotta. I guess we gotta. I guess we gotta come up with another plan. Damn it. Who's that close, complete? He says words blind. I just be wanting to know if, like, how do they, like, do they use Google Maps? For that matter, do they use a regular map? Can't call it. But yeah, though, we just discussed a lot of different things that dealing with the point of no return. Some of them physical. Some of them social. You know what I'm saying? Like even in terms of the culture, like we were saying, just dealing with man, woman, and child. And how it's a couple of battles out there right now that's affecting that. You know what I mean? In terms of what they teaching them in school, and all the different rulings, Supreme Court, and all that. You know, do we reach a point of no return in terms of just that way of life? Like we're, like now we keep saying, we could go back to this time. Like for instance, they talk about how in the '60s, what the marriage rate was. You know what I'm saying? You know, but I'm saying that right now, right? It's still a lot of people alive that was alive in the '60s. You know what I'm saying? So let's say that's been 50 to 60 years or whatever, right? What happens in another 50 to 60 years? You know what I'm saying? Is that uh way of life going to be so far away that the people, they gotta start from scratch? David Weiss got destroyed by a Jew. Yeah, I probably check that out. I'll see if I check it out. Listen, all those different things. I'm saying that as time goes on, spend without doing a certain activity, like it's just different things we don't think about now. That like for instance, once upon a time, people used to make their own soap. How many people right now could make soap? How many people could make soap if they had to? I'm sure there's still people, what I'm saying, and those people could, you know, spread the knowledge, of course. But I'm saying as of right now, like at one time to dial somebody's number, you had to dial all the digits. Like see now you just type in the first couple of letters of their name and then you click on that. See, a couple people know about making soap. Now I was born saying he about to learn how to make soap next week. But at one time, everybody knew how to make soap. Well, I'm gonna say, every somebody in every family at least. That's what I'm saying. If your phone gets lost, a lot of people don't remember their own number. Yeah, exactly. That's how you forget everybody's phone number, and it's how your brain deals with a little bit of atrophy. You know what I'm saying? Where it's just, you're not keeping things on point, on cap, and exercising your mental capacity. Valley Green Giant said the white man and the Japanese have cars on lot. I'm pretty sure the biggest car company in the world is in China. But in terms of America, I think they have cars on lot by volume. Please say when it comes to tech, the calculator is where that began. Uh, in what aspect? Because I do, there's an aspect of that too. If you're talking about in terms of how once upon a time, if you got if you got caught with a calculator, right, you automatically failed. You know what I'm saying? By the time uh, my kids went to school, uh, getting them a calculator was a requirement of the math class. You know, me in particular, I went to a school for engineering, so we had a particular scientific calculator, and the calculations that we was doing was so huge. And what was the important thing was that you understood the formulas, and what exactly they stood for. So we had scientific calculators, but in terms of just but yeah, that was another thing that caused certain abilities to atrophy. Yeah, I went to Brooklyn Tech. Europe is in deflation right now. I mean, I think that's what I was just saying about at least New York, man. I think deflation is coming. What is the practical view to look at with the exact date of expiration of the devil's civilization was different before 1914 and now. Uh, yeah, a couple things. 1914 was the end of the monarch world. See, that was the end of the monarch world. That ushered in America being the world power. You know what I'm saying? That's when the American, what they was the word, hegemony started. That was when all of those kind of like religious, you know, uh, different, where the religion in the state was kind of connected, into the world that you got now, where democracy and capitalism kind of reign. Yeah, true. Born King put there the Ottoman Empire, but that was what I was saying, that world of empires was destroyed in World War I. He said since calculators, everything has become automated. Everything from computing, thinking, doing. They're eliminating the knowledge to a few who choose to. What's the Ferdinand line? Or adding on to it, yeah, but I'm saying, what's the Ferdinand line though? Oh, you talking about the line of uh, succession, the that royal bloodline. He says so. I see his civilization still exists, just not as it was in 1914. Uh, well, I don't understand the question. Because, well, let me say it like this, right? When you say the destruction of anything, you know what I'm saying? But you got to remember, you know, the analogy of like a bomb. You know what I'm saying? When a bomb, when you kind of visualize a bomb going off, right? You know, everything is destroyed. But in reality, the explosion and everything appeared to blow everything apart, but everything is still right there. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember when when a plane blew up, something happened to it. Some they said it was hit by a missile. I can't recall what they ended up concluding happened to this plane. You know what I'm saying? But the plane went into the river. Like it was taking off, I think, from LaGuardia, and whatever happened to it, it exploded and it went into the river. You know what I'm saying? And they went they went down under the water, got all the pieces, and put the shit back together. Like one day they came on the news, and it was like little parts and everything, but they had glued or tape, whatever they did, the shit was back in one piece. They was like, look, we about to examine this now that we got all the pieces and see if we can see what happened. So you got to look at the same thing with civilization. Like right now, right? If we take the devil out, right? We're not going to get rid of the plumbing, though, are we? You know, just because something began, that don't mean wasn't something before it. You know, if it has a beginning, it definitely was something before it. You know what I'm saying? And just because something ends, you know what I'm saying, that don't mean that all of the parts of it cease to exist. So, for instance, let's use another example, right? The Roman Empire expired in like what is that, like 540? The the uh, the Western Roman Empire, and the Eastern for that matter, that was what, 1453, right? But the Roman Catholic Church and the Eastern Orthodox Church still exists. The Roman roads still exist. Britannia, Germania, uh, Hispania still exists. You know, Spanish, French, Italian, you know, which is based on the language that they popularized, still exists. You know what I'm saying? You know, we dealing with the same science we always deal with. You know, matter and energy is not created or destroyed. You know, it's transformed. So, I'm not sure if that's what you're talking about. You know, but we spoke of the things like people lost their life. The Tsar of Russia lost his life in that changeover. You know what I'm saying? Russia is no longer, uh, Peter the Great and all these people. They bloodline, like the complete the same. That bloodline is done, and now they dealing with communism. So it's in what what we now term the new world order. You know what I'm saying? In 1914, they established a new world order. You see what I'm saying? Before that, America had just really came on to the international stage in the late 1800s. The Spanish American War, I think, is 1898. So that was when America started having, first of all, by this time, the continental United States is 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 uh, is America. You know what I'm saying? For topic that we talking about. You know, but once they had the Spanish American War, and then they get control of Cuba and Philippines and Puerto Rico, uh, but they still new to the game. America, to my knowledge, wasn't at the meeting for the Rush for Africa. America wasn't down there. You see, the people who was at that meeting all took a fall in 1914. The Kaiser, uh, they all took a fall. You know, the people from England, because they, rocked on the side of America, they was allowed to hold it down at least until World War II. But then after World War II, America made them say, look, we're going to be rocking this now. But, all of those things, many different, like I said, there's layers of it when you deal with history. You see what I'm saying? Like, for instance, uh, the 1500s, the 1500s was the Spanish century. Like that was the century that they rocked. They was the top dogs. You know what I'm saying? I think the 1600s is I think the Dutch, and then the 1700s is the French century. The 1800s is the British century, and then the 1900s became the American century. You know what I'm saying? In each one of those eras, what I'm saying is that the kind of world order that was established by each of those empires that I'm talking about being the world power. Who was the world power at that time? Uh, so yeah, that's what they're saying right now. Is that this might end up being the Chinese century? Mr. Sparks said the 17th Amendment was ratified in 1913, but it hasn't done much. You supposed to be able to destroy civilization while having the power to vote the Senate, but it's been a lack of righteous motherfuckers. Uh, um, well, I don't know if that was the reason that they did it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure of the exact, like, what was all the wranglings behind that. My perception of that was that you had governors that was getting extremely powerful. You know what I'm saying? Uh, like I said, I can't necessarily speak about who was the governors at that time in 1913. But when you think about the governors like Huey Long, is that his name? From Louisiana? And Wallace, George Wallace, you know what I'm saying? Where the federal government couldn't control a lot of these local politics, you know what I'm saying? Like the Chicago politics and everything, where you had these people uh, ingrained. So, you know, they control the state legislatures. So they control, who was going to be elected senator. And so now they was controlling Washington. So my perception was always too that was a move to kind of reduce the power of some of those governors that was not allowing them to move forward and get the money as fast as they want to. Queen Elizabeth has been the highest ranking figure in politics for almost 100 years. You said you think she's the highest ranking person in politics? Yeah, they influenced the parliament. I mean, she got I mean, she definitely, by virtue of her longevity, right? That's what it was. Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's what I was like. I don't think she's more powerful than the president, though. But I guess in terms of maintaining, that rank, you know what I'm saying? Like, a person could be president, then they got to go. Whereas she continues to be in that position. But, they got a funny situation over there. You know, they got a funny situation over there. Uh, dealing with the Magna Carta and all of that, and just the way how things is a little bit crazy. The Pope, did you hear about that? That the Pope of the Eastern Orthodox Church and the Pope of the Roman Catholic Church had a meeting, and it was the first time that people in their position had a meeting in like hundreds of years or something. Wild stuff. But we can go ahead and wind this one down. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we hit some different topics. Uh, the guy bounced out before we got a chance. I did want to hit one more topic. I wanted to get on Eric Adams. I was going to, I wanted to get on Eric Adams because, uh, I mean, at this point, I don't know if he knows what he's doing. And if he does know what he's doing, then that's probably even worse. Now, don't tell me he wore a costume. Don't tell me he wore a costume to the Met Ball. So you gotta be dignified. You gotta have some self-respect, man. You cannot be you the mayor of the capital of the world. I know he didn't show up looking like a hamburger. Don't tell me he went to the Met Gala. He went to the Met Gala looking like the hamburger. Can't do that. If that's the case, man, we gotta go put him in the yoke. Can't let him represent black people like that. He's putting us all back. Gotta go dignified, man. You gotta put on a three-piece suit. You don't show up looking like the hamburger. You don't show up looking like the hamburger, and you the mayor of the capital of the free world. His tux had an anti-gun slogan on it. He's an SJW now. He's, he's got to be the first black man SJW. Got to be the first black man SJW I seen. He's a big mentality. So he's a colored man in blackface. You know, I'm gonna tell you, man. The thing with Eric Adams though is I tried to like him. G, I did. I tried to like him from the very first time I saw him. You know, like that was a concept that was coming out big at the time when I was growing up. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of opportunities was opening up for black people. You know what I'm saying? And I remember, when brothers was becoming cops and everything. You know, not in my age group, but in, older people. A lot of them they was like, yo, you gotta be a part of the system. You know, you got to get in the police force and be a part of the system so you can fix the system. You know what I'm saying? And to me, I never agreed with that point of view. You know what I'm saying? My my view on that is just that. Listen, you cannot clean the toilet bowl from inside the toilet bowl. You got to clean it from outside the toilet bowl. You know, I know you got to put something in there, but you need to be on the outside, or you're gonna get shit on you too. So when he first, from back in the days, you know what I'm saying? You know, when I first, you know, uh, seen him, he was, he was already, he had some rank and everything, but I mean, he was still a young man. You know what I'm saying? He was still a young man, in the force, you know, and at that time, the police wasn't, cooperating with what I wanted to do. So, of course, my first, but over the time, I tried to like him, you know, especially around the time when he changed it. He had the 100 blacks in law enforcement, and then he changed it to 100 blacks in law enforcement who care, And so by that time, I'm getting a little more maturity. So I'm trying to, see it. And, he was starting to speak out on a few things, you know, but then over the time, there was just a lot of things about him where it was like, yeah, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And at this point right now, man, I would almost rather think that he's just incompetent. You know what I'm saying? Than that he played this role all this time, only to who knows. Now Davis said we need Dubois, Dubois and Washington. Not from a major perspective. Maybe in small towns and counties, you can join the sheriff department and help make changes. In major cities, it's only protocol. I mean, yeah, maybe that's the perspective too. Being that I'm, in New York, that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, but some people just don't know how to deal with power. Maybe that's maybe that's the issue with him. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But he seemed a little bit automaton right now. Like he's shaping up to be the if you consider uh Giuliani, let's say you say that he's the like the third. Well, actually, that would be this is he's the let me see 2 3. He's the sixth term. He's the sixth term of Giuliani Berg. That's what that's that's this is the this is shaping up to be the sixth term of Giuliani Berg. Did I see the Harvard slavery thing? I mean, I seen something where they were saying that they gonna make some kind of fine or something. But dude, they got like $1 trillion, man. It was some shit where it's like they get a little bad press or whatever. So before they get canceled, they. But I didn't really see nothing, uh, past the kind of lip service that they always give. So Larry David said you need to have people inside and outside the system working in unison. Not that system. Not that system. See, because the police, right? See, what could you do with a gun and handcuffs and a nightstick to solve the problems in society in general, let alone in the black community? Like, what do you want to do with that? They're only here to bust heads. I have never, not one time, right, seen the police, seeing the police beating somebody down, right? And then some other police come on the scene and just maintain. When they come, they jump right in and start beating the motherfucker ass. But that's what you gotta do when you in a gang, nigga. When we flip, you flip or get flipped. The fuck you? Why you didn't move and we move? So when that's your mentality, you know what I'm saying? What you gonna do from the inside? Like that's what the academy is for, is to ensure that you have a mentality where it's that, yo, you like that shit, like you like that shit. Or, you just don't care, you know, could be, one thing or the other, or you're just that much of a follower that these are orders, and look, this is what the law says, and this is the law. This doesn't matter if it's right or wrong. And if you got any other type of mentality where you're going to stop and say, well, it's already 10 of y'all on them, y'all got them. I don't need to tase them. All right, Scrams, you're not understanding the camaraderie here, the teamwork. You're not cut out for this. So with them, I'm just out, And that's why I said this guy is kind of like an automaton, just like, yo, well, when Giuliani, was in office, they did this. And, when Bloomberg was in office, they did that. And then, the way you institute it even is yeah, exactly. Marines don't need no business managers. They don't need no supervisors. You know what I'm saying? They only need people that's ready to leave people FUBAR. That's what they're looking for. They're not looking for accountants. Not looking for Casanovas. Like, what's the name? You ever saw those what's the names about LA? Where they talk about the guy who was the chief of police in LA before Daryl Gates. And they say that when the great migration started coming to LA, that he in particular went and recruited in the deep south. Like he went and recruited on the east side of Texas and Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana. See what I'm saying? So now I don't have to risk. I don't have to risk some paperwork, this memo or somebody saying that, yo, listen, I told them to go out there and beat these black people heads in. See, I went and got police from places that all these niggas is out of pocket. All these niggas is uppity. Like, nigga, what the fuck is you doing standing on the corner? Like, from where they from, everything going on in LA is out of pocket. You see this nigga here eyeballing me? You look at me in the face? I read your Bible. So they don't gotta tell them. The Irish here in New York, they ain't had to tell them nothing. So you get into an organization that's based on that, I don't think you're gonna make much difference. You know what I'm saying? At best, or I would agree with you getting into a position where you was more well rounded. You know what I'm saying? Where, that public safety aspect might be a part of your duty, but you could also deal with education. You could also deal with, you know, uh, nutrition. I'm saying in the form of, trying to, give in some business opportunities, for some supermarkets with fresh produce or whatever to get businesses in the community. You know what I'm saying? But if you just dare to bust heads, that's the problem. Yeah. So that's never, just, I ain't really talking about you. I'm talking about Eric Adams. That's why I never liked him. And I tried to like him on the basis of what you were saying. You know what I'm saying? Now, okay, look, let me, you know, kind of like, you know, self-analyze there and say, okay, maybe it's my own personal bias that's not allowing me to see that this is a good guy. But then the straw that broke the camel's back is when he got into politics and he started running for office, then he started revealing certain things. And it's like, wait a minute, why didn't you reveal that when you was a black in law enforcement that cares? Now all of a sudden, when you got a personal gain, you could win this office. Now you want to come out and tell us that the brass was giving y'all all types of fucked up orders to carry out in the hood. That to me was Supreme, man. You missed a good one. You probably would have wanted to kick it. I'm about to wind it down right now. We actually, I need to build with you what we're doing right now. In the next 2 weeks, we're gonna be taking some of the, or we're gonna be proceeding ahead with the incorporation and everything. But we need some. We're forming a credit union, and I don't know in particular if your son has expertise in that kind of thing, but I know he just graduated with a degree in finance. So we may need to request his assistance. We'll call you tomorrow, but right now my phone is fucked up. I don't even know what's going on with it. I think I gotta get a new I think I gotta get a new SIM chip or something. IG, yeah, I'm gonna let you know, you know what I mean? But right now we at this step where we've already had the first meeting. We're gonna get the incorporation, you know what I'm saying? We decided to go through legal Zoom. So, they're gonna, give us some legal help, and then they also got a subscription that you can get to the accountants. You know what I'm saying? But that's for that. We need the particular financial people tell us how to set things up. You know what I mean? That's who we're gonna be. The board is set up, but they gotta hire the actual professional people. You know what I'm saying? And of course, it's always dope. You know what I'm saying? Because the whole movement is something we trying to do. You know what I'm saying? As the people, man, to advance something. You know what I mean? When we could go to our own to deal with shit like this. You see what I'm saying? That's what other people is able to do. You know, and you don't hardly see. There's some people that all they businesses be family businesses. So that would be another, like you said, that would be a dope aspect. But either way, like I said, I've been on the way out for like the last 25 minutes. You know what I'm saying? But right now I am gonna shout out and say peace. Everybody do the each one, teach one. Hit the like button if you didn't get a chance to do that yet. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Tomorrow, of course, I don't come on because Sunyas does his thing on Sunyas 7. So we shall return on Friday. Uh, it's possible. Uh, it's possible. Uh, we'll be on the City Sciences channel. Uh, but either way, we'll get something in on Friday. In the meantime, all right, no doubt. I'm gonna hit you on that. I know we got a lot to build with on that. But in the meantime, in between time, let me say peace.